Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today I am going to be showing you how to harvest and then sow Drosera from seed. I am mainly going to be doing subtropical species. I do have a few temperate species that are either flowering or I have collected seeds from, but I won't be sowing them because they need a cold stratification, so I'm going to keep them back for a while and I'll probably sow them nearer winter time and then naturally let them stratify over winter. So I could sow them now, but it's unlikely that they will come up or many will come up. It's usually next year for them because they need that cold period. So I've got currently loads, well, all of my subtropical species flowering. So this is a cluster of young Drosera Aliceae, and each one of them flowered. So I've got this cluster of flowers here. As you can see, there is loads of spent flowers already. So I'll show you what the flowers look like before opening, when to know when they're ready and stuff like that, just so anybody who has got their sundews flowering maybe for the first time or don't know what signs to look out for when seeds are ready or anything like that, then obviously I'll show you how to do that. And then I'm going to just sow maybe one pot because they spread everywhere. I haven't been cutting the flower stalks off, so instead all the flowers have now finished their cycle and all the seed pods are now bursting, which means next year I am probably going to have so many of those either Drosera capensis or spatulata or even the Aliceae just come up in my pots, because they're all considered kind of like a weed just because of how easy they are to germinate. So if you're looking for a good beginner plant, then subtropical sundews are probably the best just because they will just come up anywhere. So if you're buying genuine seeds, then trust me, you will get loads of those. But yeah, I'll just get straight to it and show you the seeds and how to sow them. Okay, so I'm going to start with basically where all of my sundews are. So this is a cluster of Drosera capensis, so my, well, some of my adults, they're looking really nice at the moment. And this is the flower stalk of one. So when they first start opening, they'll look like this. So this is not, well, it'll flower soon actually, that is the flower slowly coming out. So they're a thicker stalk. Obviously they don't produce any carnivorous plant leaves, but if you get a macro lens or something, this stalk is covered in fine dew droplets which can catch like really minuscule insects. But that's what they kind of look like when coming out. So as you can see, there's loads of flowers there. Then when they get a bit taller, they look like this. So this is a good example actually of the stages. So these only last, I'd say, about 2 hours. They hardly last at all, and I haven't actually spotted many of them flowering this year. Purely because they only last a couple of hours and I haven't been here. So when the flowers have been spent, they shrivel up, so you can clearly see the distinctiveness of ones that are about to open. This one will open tomorrow, or either tomorrow or the next day, because you can see it's slowly coming out, where these at the back have all been spent, so that probably flowered today and then it has now shriveled up. And then when they obviously go more black, then they'll be ready to harvest. So these are self-pollinating flowers. You literally have to do nothing to them, and they will still produce hundreds of seeds, and I'm not exaggerating when I say hundreds. So this is a completely finished and spent flower stalk which has gone almost brown. Most of them, or most of the seeds in here, have fallen out because of how well gone they are, so I am dreading the mess that's going to be in here next year when they're all just going to join this already messy display of sundews. I've slowly been cutting them off because all of these had flowered, but I've kept some on and some are off. So this one again is getting near the end of its cycle, and so is these. But yeah, these flowers obviously open today, they're slowly closing. So I'm just going to show you how many seeds you can get from one of these. Okay, so this is last year's. I haven't done anything with them purely because obviously I don't need any more, they just self-pollinate as it is. But as you can see, they are like dust. So what the seeds are these dust. This is the remnants of last year's flower stalks. So this is a better representation. Each one of these is a seed. and it's so hard to focus, and the scale of them is just tiny. So I'm just going to put them ones in there, and then I'm going to cut off one of the flower stalks to show you. So I've put the camera down to this kind of level just to show. So most of the seeds will probably fall off as I cut this stalk. Yeah, they're already falling off as it is. So as you can see, look, already all you have to do is just gently tap it and all the seeds come out. And look, as I said, there is so many seeds, it's insane. But yeah, so these ones are quite far gone. You can take them off, I'd say, just before they start bursting. So as you can see, these ones, can try and focus, these ones at the bottom have burst, and you can see there's gaps in them, where as you go higher up, they've still kind of got the pinky tinge of the old flowers, and that's probably when you can take them off. Because they're self-pollinating as well, you'll still get loads of seeds even if you cut them off quite prematurely. So I don't even need this many seeds, I don't even, but that is just one flower stalk, and that's not even the end of it, because I haven't shaken it out fully. Because I could let the top ones, which haven't fully dried out yet, dry out on the side, so you can do that as well. You can just cut it off and let them dry out on the side, and then they will produce even more seeds. The seeds just, you can get them whether you want them or not. So obviously if you don't want the seeds, then cut off the flower stalks as soon as you see them coming, but they do make nice display. If I've got a better picture of a flower, I'll show it, because obviously I'm doing this in the afternoon and the flowers have already finished for the day. So if I've got a better picture of just a flower, then I will put that over the video. But yeah, so just one seed pod, or technically it was like 2 stalks, has produced all these seeds, which are just insane. So now I am going to prepare a pot and I think sow some of these. Okay, so I've prepared a mixture of, this is peat moss and perlite, which I'm going to be sowing the seeds onto. So the ones I just took from the capensis are the ones I'm going to sow. So to show you how many seeds can come up and how long they last for, I've got a very good example just here. So this is Drosera seeds. I found these in, because I keep all my seeds like this in boxes, and I found these that were dated 5 years ago. So I sowed all of them thinking that none of them would come up, because seeds only last about, I'd say, 6 months, and then they're not really viable, or they wouldn't work as well. And to my surprise, they all came up. And as you can see, they desperately need repotting, but I just don't have the space for them. So I'm kind of going for a bit of natural selection and just letting whatever ones survive. But it has made a really nice display, almost like a carpet of them. And that's what you'll get if you sow, obviously, loads of seeds. So with these I'm going to try and be as minimal as possible, because I've already got loads. But obviously I'm just going to show. So seeds are very small, and it's impossible to really tell how many you've got. Just putting some on your finger, well, that's about 10. And they will likely all germinate, especially if I've only just broken that seed pod. So I've got that many on my finger, which still loads, probably a good 30 there. I'm just gently going to place them on the soil. So again, you can't really see when they're on the soil, but I know I've definitely sown them because I saw them floating down. But I'm not going to sow any more than that, purely because I don't need any more. But that's kind of the process for that. So those seeds are definitely going to germinate, there's no question about that. Obviously, fresher the better. If obviously you don't want to sow them straight away, you can keep them like in the fridge to help them preserve longer, but as obviously I've shown with my other ones, they still germinated even after years of just being in a normal room temperature place. But obviously for better results it is best to get fresher seeds. I'll just show you some Anglica seeds, because the temperate species like Sundews seeds are a little bit bigger. So like I said, I'm not going to sow these because I would like them for my winter bog. But these are seeds from the Anglica, so only one pod, there's only one flower on one of them this year, and this is what I've got. So I'm quite happy that I actually got seeds from these, because most of mine didn't flower because I only just got it, but these are just a tiny little bit bigger and a little bit longer. So that's basically it for the seed sowing of those. So I just thought I'd show you some harvesting of some temperate species seeds. So these are filiformis seeds. I've just opened one pod, and as you can see already I've got loads of them. My filiformis have produced loads of flowers this year. So I'm just going to take the head of the flower off, and as you can see, look, all the seeds are dropping out. So these are a little bit bigger, so you can see how many you've got. Right. So that is a filiformis. Okay, so that shows you a rundown of how to harvest and sow your seeds from Drosera. So it's quite just a brief video, because it was just a very simple and easy process. So if you're just starting out a collection and you've only got like a couple of Drosera, then this is a great way, especially for subtropical species, to build up a collection, as they are so easy to germinate. So they may only come up in like a few days time. I would say give it about 3 weeks or so for most of them to come up, but some might be really quick and come up really quickly. So yeah, just obviously make sure they don't dry out, keep them in a tray of water at all times, and place them in a indirect kind of brightly lit position really, so not full sun, but in a nice bright position. I'm going to keep mine in the greenhouse, but you can obviously, especially if you are if you have your Droseras inside, then again on a brightly lit windowsill is perfect as well for them, and you will see the germination come up really quickly. Especially if you've got loads of seeds, you can see how many there is. It's just a perfect way of getting loads of plants. So thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed this video.